Hi friends, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela WebDev. In this video, we will try to implement the interval observable. What we have used this already predefined observable interval method in the RxJS. We will try to implement the same interval method using our custom observable. We will try to create it from the scratch, and we will see what are the problems we will be facing if we implement the custom observable, and what are the things we need to take care. So in order to implement, when the user unsubscribes to our custom observable, what are the things we need to take care? We'll try to see it. So first, what I will try to do is, so instead of using this interval method, so I will try to create our own observable. So how to create our own observable? I can remove this one and I can use something like new observable, right? So new observable, and here you need to send an observer. So observer, you will be having an observer, and this observer. So what we need to do? We need to implement the observable method, right? So interval method. So interval method, what it will try to do? It will try to generate the values from 0 to infinite. So it will go on generating 0, 1, 2, 3 like that for a particular period of time. So let's say 1 second. For every 1 second, it will emit the value, increment the value and emit. Now what I will try to do, let's I is equal to 0. I will take one variable I is equal to 0, and I will try to implement set interval. Okay. So in this set interval, so anonymous function. Now I will try to observer dot next, and I will send the values. Okay. So that's it. So now we are sending the values like this, observer dot next. So now for every 1 second, so 1 second, right? So for every 1000, so 1000 means 1000 milliseconds, that is nothing but 1 second. For every 1 second, it will increment the value and it will try to send the I value. Now here let's try to do the console so that you will understand. So the way how the timer interval executing. Now fine, right? Now let's try to see the output. So if I try to see the output, now you will see the same output. Now here interval executing, so like this you are able to get the same output, right? Now what I will try to do here, I will try to cancel the timer. So if I cancel the timer, what we need to do, what the expected behavior it should be, the observable has to stop the sending the data. Okay, so observable is I need to stop sending the data. So now what I need to do, so now what I will try to do, so cancel timer. I clicked on the cancel timer. Now we are not getting any data, so the observable, so we have unsubscribed to the observable, but see inside this interval it is still running, right? So here interval executing, so interval is still executing, but we are done with the data, we are not receiving any data, so we are unsubscribed, so we will not receive any data, but still the set interval time is running. So that means what we need to do, so now we need to somehow stop this set interval also. So for example, for the same observable, what I will try to do, I will try to create another new observer. Now here I can do something like new observable dot subscribe. So I am subscribing. So this time I will try to print this one in the browser. So first one is the timer console. Okay, so let's try to rename this one as timer console. Sorry, this timer, it will be printed in the console. So now I will rename this one to timer console. Now I am creating another subscription, something like timer browser. Okay, timer browser. So this one will be printing in the timer browser subscription. Now I will try to copy this one, and here I can paste it, something like this dot timer browser subscription is equal to, that's it. Now this subscribe data, what I need to do, I need to print it in the browser. So okay, fine, let's try to take the timers. So I am taking the timers of type number, it's an array. Okay, now let's keep the bang operator, so that in the Angular 12, so we have a strict is true in the TypeScript. So that is the reason, so it will be asking all the time to mention something. So or otherwise we can do like this. Okay, so of type number, so it is an empty array. Now what I can do, so every time we are getting a data, I will try to push it, this dot timers dot push of what I can do, data. I can push the data. Okay, so we are getting here red mark means, so it is telling that, so what is the type of data we are getting. So okay, here I can do something like, so it sends the data of type number, so that the type that strongly type matching, it will be matching. Fine. So now this timers, let's try to print it in the HTML. So here at the bottom, I will try to take one div. Okay, I will loop over this div ngFor is equal to let timer of timers. So I will be printing this timer value. That's it. Okay. So now let's try to see the output. So whenever we are, so let us refresh. So whenever we are trying to do, so here you will be able to see the 0, 1, 2, 3. So right now we are having two observables. So for that observable we are having two observers. Now when I click on this cancel timer, let's assume that, okay, so now when I click on this cancel timer, so let's see what will happen. So I will refresh it again. So I will cancel the timer, cancel. So now here the printing has stopped, but here in the browser it is still printing. Why? Because we didn't unsubscribe to the browser subscription. So we unsubscribed to only to the console subscription. So now what I will try to do here, I will try to do the browser subscription also. So now here I can do unsubscription to the browser also, so that if I click on the cancel timer, so both console subscription and the browser subscription has to stop. So now if I try to refresh, okay, so now 0, 1, 2 it is going on printing, and here also it is executing, interval executing and all those things coming. So if I click on the cancel, so cancel observable done, but here see, so the interval executing, so interval is still executing, set interval is still running. So this set interval is still running two times, see here 24, 26, 28, it is upgraded 28, 30. So that means what you can assume that, so if the subscribers are 2 means, so 2 times the set interval is running. Now if you are having 4 means, so 4 times the set interval will be running. So that means each observer is independently running. So that means set interval, so it will be going on running. If we unsubscribe to this one also, the set interval is not stopping. So now what we need to do, somehow whenever the user unsubscribes to this one, okay, so we need to stop the timer, or otherwise what we can say, so any cleanup or anything there in the observable, we need to do the cleanup. So that is that this will create a memory leakage. Okay, so this is the most important thing you need to remember. So whenever you are creating a custom observable, and custom observable somebody are subscribing to this observable, means to your custom observable, so when they unsubscribe the data, so you need to do the clearing. So some clearing data or something like that, you have to, if you have anything means, so you need to do it. So that is the reason. So what we can do is, so here in the custom observable, at the end you will be returning the function. Okay, so every time custom observable you need to remember, so you need to return an method. Okay, so anonymous function, you are returning an anonymous function. So now here what it will try to do is, so called when observer is unsubscribed. So what this when this method will execute is, so whenever somebody user calls this unsubscription, okay, whenever the user calls the unsubscription, so that is the reason when observer, whenever an observer unsubscribes, immediately this method will be executed. Now let's try to see it. So now if I try to refresh this page, okay, so here two observers are there subscribing to the data. Now when I click on cancel timer, see, called when unsubscribed is subscribed, called when observer is unsubscribed. So 2 times it is calling. So that means two independent observers it is executing. Now what I will try to do here, I will clear the timer. So here I can take something like let interval is equal to like this, and here I can do something like clear interval of timer, sorry, of interval. Okay, I am clearing the interval. Now see what will happen if I try to refresh this page. Okay, so it is going on executing. Now if I click cancel timer, here see, called when unsubscribed, so both the observer is unsubscribed is fired, and now the interval has also stopped. Okay, so this prevents us the memory leakage. So this is a very important, you need to remember. So when you are creating a custom observable, you need to understand that. So whenever the user unsubscribes, if you want to clear any data, or if you want to clean up all the things in your custom observable, means you need to do the unsubscribe. So now for example, see, some issue raises. So if I is equal to 6, okay, so error raised. Okay, so then what it will be the problem. So then also when error raised, so observer dot error, so we are calling the error, and yeah, I am sending you that unknown error occurred or something like this. So something error occurred. Okay, so we didn't implemented any error here. Okay, let's assume that now we have got an error. Now what will happen? So when an error occurred, we need to clear the timer, right? So now you need to understand that when an error occurred also, this method will be executed automatically. See, let's try to see. See, called when unobserver is unsubscribed. So if I refresh, So here it will go on executing 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. So now the error has occurred. So I am not clicking on the timer, cancel timer. See, called when observer is unsubscribed, called when observer is unsubscribed. When error occurred also, automatically this method will be executed and it will clean up all the data. Okay, you need to understand this one also. So when this method will be executed, when this return function at the end it will be executed is whenever user unsubscribes to the data, subscribes to the observable, and also when an unknown error, when an observer error has occurred, automatically this return function will be executed so that any cleanup is there or anything is there, so it will clean up the data. Okay, so this is the main important thing you need to remember. And also another thing what I can tell you is, so here we are using timer console subscription and timer browser subscription also, right? So if you want to do, we can also do something like here this dot timer console, sorry, this dot timer console subscription, right? So you can take one subscription and you can add another subscription also to this one. So I can add something like this dot timer browser subscription like this. So you can add as many things you want. So now if you unsubscribe to only this one, automatically whatever the subscriptions you have added to this console subscription, it will be automatically unsubscribed. This is also one feature. Now if I try to do, so if I try to refresh this page, okay, now let's try to remove this observer error so that it will be continuous. So now if we try to execute this one, see, now this one by one it is executing. Now I will try to click on this cancel timer. Automatically both the timers will be exited. See, I click, so called when observer is unsubscribed, both the timers has been, both the observables has been unsubscribed. So now you can also use this method that is present in the subscription. So this is present in the subscription. So you can add it in the same scenario. If you want to remove it also, you can use this dot timer console, sorry, this dot timer console subscription dot remove. So you will have the remove, so that if whatever the things you have added in the timer console subscription, so if you want to remove any subscription also, you can use this remove method. So these are the things that are present. So when main important you need to remember is, so you can in the custom observable you can return an anonymous function. So this function, when it will be executed is whenever the user unsubscribes to the observable, to your custom observable, and also whenever an unknown error occurred in the observable means, so this unsubscribed, this method will be executed, so that if you have any cleanup data or anything, if you want to clean up anything or initialize the variables or remove these all the things means, so you can do the cleanup data here in this one. Okay, so why we will be doing this one is in order to prevent the memory leakage in the browser. Okay, hope you understood about this written thing. So if you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. And also if you have any doubts, and also the code, everything is hosted in this GitHub, so you can check this GitHub repository. So everything will be posted in this one. Okay, thank you.